Part 6. So they left her there while they went about their business, searching the house. Occasionally one of the detectives asked her another question. Sometimes Jack Noonan spoke at her gently as he passed by. Her husband, he had told her, had been killed by a blow on the back of the head, administered with a heavy, blunt instrument, almost certainly a large piece of metal. They were looking for a weapon. The murderer may have taken it with him, but on the other hand, he may have thrown it away or hidden it somewhere on the premises. "It's the old story," he said. "Get the weapon and you got the man." Later, one of the detectives came up and sat beside her. Did she know, he asked, of anything in the house that could have been used as a weapon? Would she mind having a look around to see if anything was missing? A very big spanner, for example, or a heavy metal vase. They didn't have any heavy metal vases, she said. Or a big spanner. She didn't think they had a big spanner, but there might be some things like that in the garage. The search went on. She knew that there were other policemen in the garden all around the house. She could hear their footsteps on the gravel outside, and sometimes she saw a flash of a torch through a chink in the curtains. It began to get late, nearly 9, she noticed by the clock on the mantel. The 4 men searching the rooms seemed to be growing weary, a trifle exasperated. "Jack," she said to Sergeant Noonan as he went by, "would you mind giving me a drink?" "Sure, I'll give you a drink. You mean this whiskey?" "Yes, please, but just a small one. It might make me feel better." He handed her the glass. "Why don't you have one yourself?" she said. "You must be awfully tired. Please do. You've been very good to me." "Well," he answered, "it's not strictly allowed, but I might take just a drop to keep me going." One by one the others came in and were persuaded to take a little nip of whiskey. They stood around rather awkwardly, with the drinks in their hands, uncomfortable in her presence, trying to say consoling things to her. Sergeant Noonan wandered into the kitchen, came out quickly, and said, "Look, Mrs. Maloney, you know that oven of yours is still on, and the meat's still inside." "Oh, dear me," she cried. "So it is." "I'd better turn it off for you, hadn't I?" "Will you do that, Jack? Thank you so much." When the sergeant returned the second time, she looked at him with her large, dark, tearful eyes. "Jack Noonan," she said. "Yes?" "Would you do me a small favor, and you and these others?" "Oh, we can try, Mrs. Maloney."